Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live this morning. And I'm here in Collingwood, Ontario, just on a little vacation with some friends. So if you can hear me and see me, I don't know if you can see that background out there. We're just at the base of the mountain here. Rosa, good morning, and good morning to you, everyone. So if you can just let me know that the sound is good, and I always worry a little bit about the Wi-Fi connection here. I'm sitting outside on our, it's a very little small deck here in our condo. Jerry, good morning, and George, how are you? Diane, how are you this morning? Good to have you on with us this morning. And Jeanette, loud and clear, she says, okay, good, that's what I want. Clyde, and there's a hornet around me. I hope he doesn't land. Donna, you get, and Michelle from Wawa, good to have you on. Diane, good morning to you. Two Dianes, and Jordan from Edmond, Oklahoma, good to have you on. Cassidy, my little granddaughter's on with us. Good morning. Kiss, good to have you on with us this morning. Yolande and Jerry from Nouveau Brunswick, and Phyllis and Diane. Denise. Yeah, it's a beautiful view, isn't it? It's a beautiful area. Okay. So, guys, good to have you on with us this morning. Elaine and Flo, and nice view. And, okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about two things, and they're both going to be combined, okay? And one of them, and if you get our emails, if you don't, you make sure you go today on our website, martinclinic.com, and sign up for our newsletter that comes by email. So once or twice a week, and Tony Jr. is in the writing department of those emails. And he came out this morning with a tremendous email, and the headline was, Cardiologists Get It Wrong. And they always do. Anything they've done in the last 40, 50 years, the cardiologists have got it wrong, okay? And I want to just talk a little bit about that this morning. And let me start off by doing this. I was watching, and this was a tape show of America's Got Talent. Have you seen that? And they had a guy that he came out, and his story just brought tears to your eyes. He was incarcerated, falsely accused, and he was in prison, I think, for 38 years. And then finally the DNA cleared him. I don't know if you ever saw that. It was on America's Got Talent, and then he sang, and he had such a good voice. But the point I'm trying to make is that what's happened in especially in heart disease is that they got the wrong guy. They put the wrong guy in prison. They put cholesterol in prison. Falsely accused. Cholesterol was never the bad guy, but they made him the bad guy. And that's unfortunate. They made cholesterol the boogeyman, the bad guy. They put him in prison. And everybody is still today, even today, in modern medicine, 50 years out from making cholesterol the bad guy. Guess what? Cholesterol is still in jail today. Now, there's a few cardiologists that are finally waking up to the fact that cholesterol is not the bad guy. Your body makes 85% of your cholesterol. Your liver produces cholesterol. Your bile from your gallbladder, the reservoir, is full of cholesterol. Your hormones can't get transported without, they're made, first of all, from cholesterol, and they're transported by cholesterol. So what Tony Jr. was writing about this morning is that cholesterol's not the bad guy. They got it wrong. But just try and change their mind. It's almost impossible because of their training. And this is why we're constantly answering questions about, and this is why, guys, I got no problem. If you want me to analyze your blood work, send me your blood work. I'll tell you, because I look at two things. I'll look at your total cholesterol if you want me to, but I don't comment on it. Because what I'm trying to establish with you is that if your triglycerides are good, and your HDL, your good cholesterol, is good, that's the key. So what did cardiologists get wrong? Well, they got cholesterol wrong. And because they got cholesterol wrong, there was an introduction at the same time by the food industry. So you have to understand this, that the pharmaceutical industry, huge. The food industry, huge. And in combination, they're the most powerful entities in the world. The two most powerful entities in the world are the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry. And they combine to make cholesterol the bad guy and make vegetable oils the good guy. And that was a big mistake. It was a huge mistake. But even today, like don't eat butter and don't eat any. What? Are you kidding me? Those are natural. Don't eat eggs because eggs are full of cholesterol. Well, your body needs cholesterol. So the cardiologist got it wrong. The cardiologist got it wrong. Here's another thing, and this is where I want to emphasize this morning. Cardiologists got salt wrong. They got salt wrong. They said salt was a boogeyman. Do you know how many people, especially of my generation, have got this idea to not add salt to their foods? They look at packages, instead of looking at sugar, they want to know how much sodium is in there. Because what happened? Well, the food industry and the cardiologists said, well, salt will elevate your blood pressure. Nah, no it doesn't. You know what will elevate your blood pressure? A lack of salt. And I'm going to talk specifically about one salt that's very important. That's magnesium. That's a salt. You need it. It's a mineral. It's very important. But, what are they saying today? 80% of the population is low in salt. Understand where that came from. Where did it come from? It came again from the pharmaceutical industry. And it came again from the food industry. And, I'm not saying they did it on purpose. I know somebody did. But, I think they have very good intentions. I do. I don't question their motives. But the whole world went for it. Can you imagine? And here's the problem we see today, okay? Here's the problem that we see. 80% of the population have low levels of magnesium. Now, you want to know what magnesium does? You think of the word relax, okay? So in heart disease, think about the significance of this, okay? In heart disease, think of the word relax. What does magnesium do? It relaxes your blood vessels. It relaxes them. It takes the spasm out of your blood vessels. This is why magnesium is so important in atrial fibrillation. And a lot of times people are low in magnesium. So magnesium is a salt. It's a mineral. It's very important for you. Don't avoid, and this is why I talk about this all the time, it's Himalayan salt. That's real salt. Sea salt or Himalayan salt. Pink salt. It has magnesium. It has potassium. It has all your electrolytes. You know, don't go buy Gatorade. You know, I can't handle that stuff. If you're missing electrolytes, put pink salt in your water. Just put a pinch of it. Every time you drink water, put a pinch of Himalayan salt. And I pour a lot of salt on my food, but I use Himalayan salt because it's rich. It's got 84 minerals in there. So what does magnesium do for the heart? It relaxes your blood vessels. It relaxes your blood vessels. Got a little drop of rain here. Little drop this morning. It's a beautiful day. So, they blamed the wrong guy. They imprisoned cholesterol. They imprisoned salt. They put salt. Don't eat salt. It's not good for your heart. It'll elevate your blood pressure. You can eliminate salt in your diet, and Tony Jr. was showing you that statistic today, that it will lower your blood pressure by what? 4 points? If you're 140 over 90, it'll bring your systolic. It won't touch your diastolic. Salt, lowering your salt won't touch your diastolic. Now, what is that? Systolic is that first number. The most important part of your blood pressure is not the first number. It's not your systolic, it's the diastolic. And the diastolic is very important to lower that down. You lower it by lowering your insulin. And another one is making sure your salt levels, your magnesium levels are good. Your salt levels, potassium. These are very, very important for your blood vessels. Okay? So that's very important. You want to relax. I used to tell that to my kids all the time. I used to use this voice with great effectiveness when my kids were young. You know me, I got a loud voice. Relax, I used to say. Meaning you were crossing a line. Don't go there. Okay? So one of the things in low levels of magnesium is very dangerous for your blood vessels. You need magnesium. You need your salts. That's what you need. Don't go low salt. Okay? That's not, it's been made out to be a bad guy. It's not the bad guy at all. So understand that. Okay, now, you know what magnesium does too? Magnesium helps you not only with blood pressure, it helps you with blood sugar. Yeah, magnesium is important to help to regulate your blood sugar. That's why we love it. Okay, this is why we love it. So it's a mineral that's very, very important in your body. You need it. The other one is osteoporosis. Now, everybody knows that, right? Because you get a lot of, I'm not big on calcium supplements. I always say eat your calcium. Eat your calcium. Eat cheese. Calcium. Eat your calcium. Don't take it as a supplement. If you take calcium as a supplement, it will harden your arteries. It won't get to your bones where calcium belongs. That's why you need vitamin D and vitamin K2. K2 is very, very important. K1, no. K1 is important, but K2 is much more important. Because K2 actually takes calcium out of your blood vessels and puts it in your bones. Vitamin K2. Now, how do you get K2? I'm waiting. How do you get vitamin K2? Where do you find vitamin K2? Butter? Butter, cheese. You see, it's found in dairy. Vitamin K2. People are down on dairy. I'm down on milk. I don't like milk. Milk isn't milk anymore. Milk is white Pepsi. But vitamin K2 is found in what? In butter. Cheese. Cheese curds have the highest source of vitamin K2. And vitamin K2 will clean your arteries out. So the very same thing that the doctors said, or especially the cardiologists said, that was causing heart disease, cholesterol, when you eliminated that cholesterol, you know what you were doing? When you eliminated cholesterol in your diet, one of the biggest things that you were doing was taking away your vitamin K2. The very thing that helped in heart disease. Oh, don't eat too much butter. No, you need butter. It's the bread that kills you. It's not the butter. You know? Butter up everything. Except bread. Okay. Now, the other thing, okay, very important, okay, so those salts and magnesium, okay, are very important for that. And then vitamin K2, because we were talking about, you know, the importance of getting that vitamin K2 in your system for cardio, for your heart, for your blood vessels. Now, you know what a lack of salt will do? And people don't realize this. Even magnesium salts and potassium salts are very, very important for two things. One are oxalates. You know what oxalates do? Oxalates will increase your risk of kidney stones. It's why we see so much kidney stones today. I mean, one of them is dehydration. People don't drink enough water. But the other one is a lack of these salts. And we see so much more kidney stones today. People suffer with kidney stones. They're not getting enough salt. And this is another factor in magnesium. Okay, so I could go into a whole thing about kidney stones and how important it is to realize that. I had to swat away a hornet. I wonder if there's a nest around here somewhere. So how do you form oxalates? Okay, you got two types of stones in your body. Okay, two types of stones in your body. So if you get gallbladder or you get kidney stones, even gout, what are those crystals? Uric acid in gout. Okay? How do you make crystals? How do you make stones in your kidneys? How do you make stones in your gallbladder? Oxalates. They're either oxalates or they're uric acid stones. And at the bottom of that is always the first thing you look at. The first thing you look at is elevated insulin. Elevated insulin. And a lady was asking me yesterday on the Martin Clinic Facebook group. If you're not part of that group, please become part of that group. You can ask any question you want on that group and we answer. A lot of times I look at the answers that that the other members are giving and they got the right answers. So I don't have to go on there, but our staff is always looking for that. Brandy, Jeanette, Nicole, they're looking to answer all your questions. So this question came in yesterday about kidney stones. And she had spongy kidneys, meaning her kidney function. So, you know, what did her doctor tell her? Well, you know, lay off the protein. No, it's the opposite of that. I just want to make sure that that's not a hornet, not just a bug. Okay, so lay off the protein. No, that's not true. It's not protein. It's carbs. It's insulin. There's nothing that will affect your kidneys more than insulin. Just ask a diabetic. Diabetics are always in trouble with their kidneys. Why? Because insulin affects the kidneys. The first thing that happens in insulin resistance, one of the things that it does, it affects the microcirculation. Why? Because insulin, if you're starting to get resistance, what does it do? It affects the microcirculation. Kidneys absolutely work on microcirculation, your little capillaries. Same with your eyeballs. Why do you think diabetics have so much trouble with their eyes? Why do they have so much trouble with their eyes? They're so much more susceptible to glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy and cataracts. And why do they have so much trouble with their eyes? Because of circulation. The same thing with kidneys. So when you see somebody that has kidney stones, number one thing you do, lower your insulin. Lower your sugars. It's not protein. Oh, Dr. Martin, my protein is high. They take a test and they say your protein is high. Yes, but your protein is not high from protein. It's not protein from food. It's kidneys excreting protein because they're under stress. And they get under stress for insulin. They get under stress when you don't have enough salt. Magnesium makes your kidneys work better. So does potassium, by the way. That's why I like a blend of salts. I take magnesium every day. I take magnesium every day. A very important mineral. But I take a lot of Himalayan salt. I love it. I put a lot of Himalayan salt. It's actually good for your blood pressure. It's good for your kidney function. So one of the things we're seeing a lot of today, it's amazing, much more than ever before, is the increase in the amount of kidney stones. One of them is dehydration for sure. People just don't drink enough water. They drink everything else, but they don't drink enough water. 2 liters of water a day. Everybody asks me, Doc, why do you say 2 liters? Because I've been in practice for 46 years. And I tell you, look, some people need more than that, but very few ever need less than that. You need 2 liters of water a day. And tea isn't water, coffee's not water, juice is not water, anything else, I don't care. Perrier is not water. Don't use it as water. Like, I like Perrier. I call it my Christian beer. I do. I like the carbonated water. I'll have that. But it doesn't replace my 2 liters of water. And I drink spring water a day. You want to flush your kidneys out? Think of your kidneys as Niagara Falls. Flush them out. Take the toxins out. You go to Niagara Falls, what do you notice? 24 hours a day, water is flowing over the falls. 24 hours a day, it don't stop. Oh, let's turn the water off. It's 10 o'clock, right? And we'll open it up in the morning again for the tourists. No, Niagara Falls is flowing 24/7. And that's what your kidneys need. Pretend your kidneys are Niagara Falls. Just constantly flush out the toxins from your water. One of the things that flushes out your toxins is minerals. Minerals, that's why I like mineral water. Somebody was asking, I think it was on Question and Answer Friday, about distilled water. Don't drink distilled water. It's not natural. It's not natural. It's not in nature. I like spring water. And you can make spring water if you drink tap water, okay? And some of you have water coming out your fridge, that's filtered water. I got no problem with that. Filter it out. And then if you add a little pinch of salt, you have mineral water. You know what makes your water alkaline? Minerals. That's why I love it. Put a little bit of Himalayan salt, and you got spring water. So you don't even have to go buy it if you don't want to. Use it in your tap, but filter it. Make sure you filter out all the impurities if you're drinking tap water. Okay? Get all that, if there's any fluoride in there and chlorine and all the stuff in water. I think in Sudbury there's 2,200 chemicals. I'm getting a little bit of rain here. Okay? Now let me just mention two other things. Two other things about magnesium that I like, that I use magnesium for. One of them is if you look at depression, and oftentimes in depression, I mean, listen, there's other things that you're low in, but you're low in B12, you're usually low in DHA, you don't get enough omega-3, but one of the things is salt in magnesium, okay? Now, I'm getting rained on here, so I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to cut the show a little bit short this morning, okay? So, maybe to be continued tomorrow, or otherwise we'll have another topic here. I hope you're having a great day. If you have any questions, please get them ready for Friday, so question and answer Friday. I just pump out a little bit of the fact that the book is coming soon. We're going to have a list pre-sale for the book, okay? Because it's in the publisher's hands now. We're just waiting to give us pretty well a date. It's hopefully we'll have it out in September. Can't promise that now because today is September 1st. So we'll wait and see. Okay? So looking, guys, you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, get them ready for Friday. And we love you guys. Talk to you soon.